Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Thursday, September the 1st. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Trading is all about you, part 3. And just so you know, it is going to be the monthly open too. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And since it's the beginning of the month, and since it's another trading day, let's always remember and never forget about our risk management. Never lose any more in any one particular trade than you're willing to lose on one particular trade. So, looking at the monthly, and we're starting off in the red once again. Look at this. We've got, well, we had almost a doji there, slightly green. That was pretty much a doji. I believe it was slightly green. This candle right here. And once again, we're making new lows for the year. A quick peek at the weekly. You can see we're in the weekly rat zone. We've got 1, 2, 3 gaps that have not filled. We're putting in the opening range for the month. We're below the opening range for the week by 89 pips. I believe normally I have this on about a 1 hour time frame. Or sometimes I have it on the daily. Let's see. In fact, I think that's a little bit better. It just seems like it's so scrunched because of the big difference. For the year, 1,966 pips away from the yearly open. And it looks like the pound's heading back down again. Oh, and just another heads up reminder, tomorrow, Friday, first Friday of the month, NFP day. Oh, we've got a lot of inside bar action here on the daily and the weekly, and maybe a handful on the monthly. As you can see, we had an inside bar 6 days ago. We won't have one today. 71 pip range. 4 pairs over 100. Looks like things are moving down, but moving down slowly. Well, looks like we're putting in a new low. So if you traded the daily open and just said, hey, let's just go with it, which is also happens to be the monthly open, you can see you were rewarded. And if you took the 1600 psychological break, you're rewarded also almost 50 pips. So green rats, get ready. The range is large enough. You just have to wait for a signal. Six pips off the low at the moment. So it actually got into the launch pad at 1548.9, and it's moved 6-7 pips off of the bottom. Something about that 40 area just seems to make price repel out of it. we hit the daily pivot. Oh, no, that's the H4 pivot. Sorry. Let's take a quick look here. We missed the daily pivot so far today. We've missed the weekly. Once again, we've had 3 misses in a row. So on the weekly, 3 misses, 23. That's about 10% of the time. No. How many? I'm trying to see here. This is weekly pivot. How many days am I looking at? Missed pivots. 5,000 bars. So 1% of 5,000 is 50. So that's about 0.5% of the time. 4 consecutive misses, only 5. So out of 5,000, that's 0.1%. I would lay odds next week it's going to take out the pivot, but anything can happen, right? And we've missed the monthly pivot so far. And we're over 280 pips away from it. Well, let me take a look at that H4 pivot again. We've hit the H4 pivot already. So we'll see what happens to the next H4 candle. In and out of that lower wick zone here to the south side, the daily wick zone. And we have a lowest high trade triggering at the moment. It's like it was good for a couple of pips the last time. Good. See how quick you had to be? That went from 2 pips to 1.6 in the blink of an eye. You know, depending on your broker, you have to maybe use different strategies or different tactics. One thing, I don't wait for it to stop. If it's moving in my direction and I'm thinking about getting out, I get out, and usually that benefits me, because if I wait for price to stop and I click exit, it usually moves against me about 0.5 pip. It's almost like they have it set up where you don't get filled unless price is moving. I'm not sure if that's an option for brokers or not. That'd be interesting to find out what options are available to the brokers. I wonder why I haven't even thought of that. I've been on MT4 for over a decade now, but I wonder who you would approach to maybe get the MT4 broker's manual to see what settings they have. If anybody has a copy, please pass it along. Maybe it's out there published. I'm not sure. Okay, we have not quite hit the ATR zone here. We're about 12 pips, 13 pips away from it. You can see a lot of pairs are making lows, pound pairs, euro pairs. Wow, I didn't notice this. 131 on the US CAD. Thinking about going short if the dollar yen gets around 140. It could blast right through it, but I'm going to be looking at that level. And the 139.50 area might be a nice short too if it moves down. Mainly looking just to for some pullbacks. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. On the Walmart lines, looking at the H1 chart, they're paid off in both directions, 75 to the upside and call it 49 to the downside off of the 60. So there were pips to be had. And if you drill down to the M30, you can see the first time it hit the 60. It didn't, let's see, did it hit 60? Yeah, it hit 60 but didn't crack it. One thing I noticed about Walmart, he likes to see it crack it by at least a tenth of a pip or so. Maybe we have to have him talk about that when he gets back from vacation. Now looking here at the flip-flop, that was good for 2 or more pips, 4 at the moment. Did you see how quick that changed? That's what you have to contend with as a trader. And we're looking at high minus close frequency distribution. See, if you look here at the hourly, you can see high minus the close. It's going to be greater than 10, 45 times. Let me take a look here. Let's just change something up. Let's just look at it. I was thinking about adding an input, having a multiplier. So instead of having to do this by hand, and I'm just going to put this back to 10 and leave the rest as they are. So you got about an 80% chance actually this is the size of the wick zone, high minus the close. What I really want to look at for educational purposes here is high minus the open. So looks like you can get 2 pips or more 86% of the time. 3 pips about 80% or 4 out of 5 times. So if you think about it, if you go for 3 pips and considering commissions and spreads, if you can get those 3, if you can wait for it to go high minus open by 3, you should be winning about 80% of the time. Of course, it could go up, 2 pips and reverse. So, and we've seen how fast it reverses, blink of an eye. So something to consider, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. Once again, remember, tomorrow, Friday, NFP. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.